We live in a time in which sharing personal information has become the norm, in which having too much privacy is considered to be an inconvenience for interpersonal contact, and solitude appears to be the synonym of loneliness. Holding back information about ourselves is not okay. Self-disclosure is understood to be the path to successful interactions, and privacy is seen as an obstacle to intimacy. Privacy is the control of transactions between persons, and its ultimate aim is to enhance autonomy or minimize vulnerability. During solitude, privacy becomes the way of behaving and self-treating. It is the safe space in which no one but yourself can judge you or have influence on your decisions. This way of defining privacy sounds positive, against the common belief of it being secrets and boundaries to relation. An easy example to portray this misunderstanding is seen on the New Age movement. This lifestyle promotes a striving for self-disclosure and intimacy that denies the need of privacy, the same way it strives for health, denying the inevitability of illness and death. But if we are always surrounded by people and being influenced, when is this privacy created? Does everyone have the ability to have privacy? It begins as a child, by having the capacity to be alone based on secure experiences of being alone as an infant. This is called constructive privacy. The inability to enjoy constructive privacy is secrecy. It happens when the infant is not securely ego-related, and being physically alone means extreme loneliness or isolation. It is hard to understand that a person you have an intimate relation with deserves to have his or her own intimate relation with him or herself. It can be hurtful sometimes to discover that one is one that can be two. Understanding the fact that no one belongs to anyone. When one lets someone in, it's only when he or she is certain that one can keep them out, and if need be, throw them out. This way of relating protects us from the outsiders. Privacy seems to work like an animal instinct in the mind of a rational, relational animal that is human. And this is also the main reason why some people or even organizations deny the possibility of having a private space. The biggest problem about this understanding is that when searching genuine intimacy, we can find ourselves disclosing and projecting actions of the others to show who we are, and then lose that private space in a way that it simply dissolves, and we are no longer sure of who we really are. We find pseudo-intimacy. Without a secure sense of the private, our contact will be limited to reactions based on fear of loneliness and loss, rather than having full access to responses growing from genuine intimacy and loving. We will relate in a sense of pseudo-intimacy. We may feel forced to choose between the threat of abandonment and the loss of genuine self, involved in the denial of our needs for privacy. Rather than risk abandonment, we often choose to placate our partners by denying the importance of our private places. Without a sense of boundaries, of privacy, our thoughts and feelings are not grounded in the world, not interactional. There is no response required, just self-expression for its own sake. It's the sense of limits that makes contact interactional, that creates intimacy. Privacy enables oneself to be intimate, to have an identity. Without it, you just throw away the identity in confused fusion with mutuality or intimacy. Without a sense of personal privacy, contacts with others will be a vain attempt to satisfy the aches of loneliness. There is a very clear example of this type of interactions without boundaries, and we see it every day on the internet. Let's first imagine an infant that is proudly displaying its feces for mother as if to say, "Look, I need you to see and validate everything about me." Isn't that the same behavior we face every day on social media? In the infant's case, it's alright. The mother is the closest to the self anyone can get, and that baby is building personality by these kind of interactions with the closest to the self. But in the internet, we see a serious case of limitless interaction with a limitless amount of people that in the end will be what builds a part of our identity. Not only we are sharing our private space now, we are doing it with anyone, without having real contact, not interacting in a real way, without creating any kind of intimacy. Identity is now built by contact with the outside, not by a personal understanding of the inner self. Outer validation is crucial, and we seek attention and approval in order to feel complete, accompanied and understood. Internet is a tool of self-disclosure, approval at its best. The lack of privacy is building an identity outside the self, in another dimension of the self, that can mix with the real. Without privacy, there is an indiscriminate display of thoughts, feeling, and so on, as if they in and of themselves had a special importance. It's no wonder that at a time when the value of privacy is neglected, disorders with a narcissistic component are becoming more prevalent. We confuse honesty, the disclosing of everything that comes to mind, with openness, a genuine receptive sharing of one's present experience, be that currently open to contact or not. Disclosing will only make us feel lonelier. We will experience a blurry image of ourselves, and when alone, we will feel isolated and we will avoid it. The appropriate response to loneliness is to move towards solitude, the private. We look for answers in others because we have lost contact with that inner sense of our private selves. Privacy and being capable to be alone is a requisite for self-approval, the build of self-esteem, the values and even the choices of how we want to look like to the others. Privacy is the space in which you are not influenced by others' opinions and you get to be yourself. It is easier to just create an image and a personality that is likable, one that will give you no problems in the outside world. But why would that be worthy if at the end of the day it's only you who will be judging you, and it's you the one that will love you the most, truly and unconditional, like a mother?